that determine whether a particular keyword is converting well, if a particular keyword is leading to a lot of click-throughs. So that's what determines the click-through rate. And Google uses relevancy not only for the terms used, but also for the time of year and time of day in which you might be looking for that particular product. So let's take an example. Now, you know, Java is used in several contexts. It's an island. It's a slang term for coffee. It's a programming language. So when you say a cup of Java, the best place for coffee, or something like that, in your search terms, you're obviously not talking about an island in Indonesia. You're not talking about a programming language either. So the search results have to be relevant to what you're saying. Now, in the early days of Google, if you had just gone in and said Java cup of coffee or something like that, you might have got all of the different search terms. You would have got search results relating to Indonesia. You would have got search results relating to the programming language, maybe Java programming classes or anything like that, as well as coffee places. But Google has gotten a lot better over the years, and so that doesn't happen anymore. So they do relevancy, and if you look at the three possible search terms or the three possible relevancy areas in which they could be giving you results, they pick the one that's most relevant and deliver that to you. Landing page quality score is used to police serious offenders of Google's landing page guidelines. Now, Google considers Amazon and eBay as sort of the gold standard in landing page quality because there's no confusion about what it is that you're going to do on that page. It's very simple. You're there to buy a product, and here's the products we sell. Or in eBay, you're either there to buy a product or participate in an auction, and here's what we do. So Google loves pages that are clear, explicit, and leave the user in no doubt as to what you want them to do. So landing page quality is something that Google decided they needed to introduce in order to manage what was becoming the wild, wild west. Earlier on, in the early days of Google, the quality score did not capture the full picture. So you could have a good quality score. You could create a good page, and then because Google had the rule that you could have only one page being referred to by an ad on a search results page. Because what they didn't want to do is to have all of the ads directing to the same site, which provides no variety to the user. So what they wanted to do was to be able to say, we'll provide lots of results for you to choose and decide which one's the best for you. So what people did was create the same sales page and create duplicate pages, or create the same web page, but have it under different URLs. You create multiple URLs, mini sites, each with a different URL, but exactly the same content. And each ad promotes a different site. But in effect, the content is exactly the same. Now, obviously, Google wised up to that, so which is why duplicate sites and mini sites now get slapped. So if you have a site that looks exactly like another site, you are guaranteed to get slapped. And that's why that put out of business a lot of people that were selling template sites. So you just say, here's a way to make money. You buy this package, it's got 50 sites, you just put your name on it, put your site on it, put a link there, bam, you're in business. Not so much, not anymore. Because that looks like duplicate content, and Google will slap you. So the current landing page quality system takes into account that type of issue. So what are the kinds of sites that attract low landing page qualities? And what are the kinds of sites that are absolutely guaranteed to get low landing page quality? So the type of sites that would definitely get a low landing page quality would be data collection sites that offer free gifts, subscription services, etc., in order to collect private information. So as long as you have if you have a squeeze page, now we've heard about why squeeze pages are good things. They are absolutely good things. As long as you're providing genuine value. What Google doesn't like is if you're collecting email information or other private information of the visitor without providing anything of value, then that's considered bad, and they'll give you a low landing page quality. Arbitrage sites that are designed for the sole purpose of showing ads. Now, you've seen any number of these sites that, for example, park domains, where you have a misspelled domain. You want to go to Wells Fargo, and you spell Wells Fargo wrong, and you end up on a site that's got the misspelled domain, and they show you all kinds of ads there because you keyed the wrong letter, or you fat fingered it and you just got there. That's fine. That's about the only way you can get there, because Google will give that site a very, very low landing page quality score. You can't advertise to get to that page. So that's the key thing to understand. Malware sites that knowingly or unknowingly install software. Cookies are not considered malware, but you've been to a number of these sites, I'm sure, where you go to the site and they say, let's analyze your computer for free because there's probably adware or whatever, and it actually, the software goes in, does an analysis, pops a few malware bits in there, comes back and says, oh, look what I found. It's all these bad things on your computer. Download our software now to get rid of all of that. Now, that stuff, definitely considered very bad, and Google will absolutely give you a very bad landing page quality. High risk ebook sites that show frequent ads. So by frequent ads, what Google means is pop-ups, exit scripts, all those kinds of things. Anything that the user would consider annoying is something that Google doesn't like. So the way they put it is, you have to think about it in exactly the same way as if you were a user. If you encountered that site, would you be annoyed? If the answer to that is yes, then you're probably going to get slapped. Comparison shopping sites. Google considers comparison shopping sites where they offer nothing more than just price aggregation from multiple points. So you have sites that have airfare comparisons, for example. Google considers them to be of low quality because it's not providing you any additional value. Now, the comparison shopping sites where you provide reviews, and then at the end of the review you say you can buy the product from here or here or here, and the review is more than like a 1 paragraph or 2 paragraph review, and you can actually see that the person's put a lot of work into it. That's okay, but as long as it's a real review. There's a lot of people that early on created very thin reviews and got slapped, and that problem still continues. So if you have a review site that's not particularly robust, don't expect that your site will get a good quality rating. And affiliates that don't comply with Google's affiliate guidelines. Google has their webmaster guidelines, which are pretty clear. You can go on the google.com site and look at the Google AdWords blog or the AdSense blog. There's a lot of information there. And if you look at that, you'll find out what Google doesn't like, and you can stay out of it. So how do you improve your quality score? The best way to improve your quality score is to focus on the key metrics. Organize your account for maximum effectiveness. Choose relevant keywords. So let's talk a little bit about relevant keywords. Google tracks relevancy based on time of year. So if now in February you tried to advertise for Christmas trees, your AdWords ranking will be very low. That's because the relevance to the time of year is extremely low. And the click-through rate is going to be super low. So keep in mind that it's got to be relevant. Create straightforward targeted ads. Talk to your customer rather than talking to Google. Trying to outsmart Google is a mug's game. Don't do it. It just doesn't work. And point users to a landing page with relevant original content with quick load times. A lot of marketers sometimes they mistakenly use a lot of Flash. Flash takes time to load, It creates issues. A lot of people don't have very fast connections, and that creates an annoying experience. Google doesn't like it. So keep it simple. I mean, take a look at Google's site themselves. There's no flash. There's nothing. It's white. When you go on the Google.com site, there's nothing there. It's just pure information. You don't have to go that bare bones, but you don't want something that has a whole lot of graphics and takes a lot of time to load. It just takes away from the main mission. So let's quickly go through some of the myths. The first myth we talked about a little earlier is that there should be ads everywhere. Now, that's not Google's view. Google believes that if you can't show good ads, no point in showing it. They want to show users most relevant content on the search results page. And sometimes organic results are so relevant that no new ads meet the relevance threshold. So you don't really need to show ads. So to take a look at exactly what they mean by that, there are three types of queries. There are navigational queries, there are informational queries, and there are transactional queries. So navigational queries are where you just want to navigate to a site. And at that point, what Google believes is that their purpose is served if they just take you to that site. They don't need to show you any ads. So if you wanted to look for the Walt Disney Company, so if you just went Walt Disney Company, they would take you to the Walt Disney Company, and you can go there and you can do that. But similarly, so that's a navigational query. An informational query would be, say, weather in Miami. So if you wanted to find out what the weather is, you do weather in Miami. It would take you to information about weather in Miami. But you don't need ads there. Maybe there's an ad from the Weather Channel, but not a whole lot. And a transactional query is if you said, buy places to buy a digital camera, or best prices for digital cameras, or something like that. Now you're obviously looking for transactional information. There'll be plenty of ads. So understanding the different nature of those queries helps you understand where ads will be placed and where they will not. Most people are trying to force ads into places where Google just will not show an ad in that place because they don't think it's relevant or necessary. So if you look at the commercialization of the search queries and look at the placement of ads, a great example is champagne. If you use the search term, or if you use the search text, how is champagne made? They take you to Wikipedia articles and specialist articles on how champagne is made. You don't need ads there because you weren't looking to buy champagne. But if you just say champagne, you got ads for people that are selling champagne and also informational stuff about how champagne is made. But if you said buy champagne, it's purely commercial. So you get lots of transactional ads. So that gives you a good understanding of how ads are placed and how Google shows ads on sites. The second myth is nobody but me. If I'm the only person advertising on a page, it will be cheap. Competition is only one of the factors that Google uses for determining the price of an ad. The other is landing page quality. So as I said earlier, even if nobody else is advertising on a particular page, that doesn't mean you can get that ad for cheap. If the landing page quality is not very good, it's going to be expensive. And names and generic terms are often difficult to advertise. And as I said, forcing your ad on a query can be very expensive. So the word to the wise is